This tutorial demonstrates how to print mailing labels for a selected group of contacts. This feature is available on the full screen side of iForgeAhead. From anywhere in the system, you'll get started by going to the menu bar at the top and under Reports, click All Reports. From the Reports navigation page, you'll scroll down to the General Documents section and click Mailing Labels. This will take you to a list of your contacts where you'll select the contacts that you want to have labels printed for, and once you've selected one or more, you'll simply click Create Labels. And before we go there, I want to show you some of the other features on this page. This looks very similar to your contacts list, and in fact each of these contact names is a link that if you click will take you directly to that contact record in case you need to edit any of their address information. You can also use the filter panel on the left to refine which contacts are included in this page. You can filter by whether or not they're a horse owner. You can filter by a selected contact type, as well as what letter their name starts with and whether or not they're active or have an account balance. So let's say that I'm going to filter this to show only horse owners. Those are the ones I want to create mailing labels for. After I've selected horse owners only, the list is refreshed to include only those contacts. Now I can quickly select all of them using the control at the top of the column, which selects all the records. Now before I go to print the labels, I want to look at their addresses. Because I'm going to actually mail them a document using these labels, I want to make sure all the addresses are complete. And I've got a couple here that are missing some information. So I'm just going to unselect those two that do not have complete addresses. Now that I've selected the ones I want, I'll click Create Labels. This will take us to a preview of how the labels will be printed. They're laid out for a standard format of address labels, which includes 30 labels per sheet, and it's laid out in 3 columns and has up to 10 rows. As you look at the preview, if you need to make any changes to which contacts you've selected, you can use the Select Contacts link in the Action panel to return and change your selections. When you're ready to print the labels, you'll want to check the toolbar at the top to see how many pages your selections have resulted in, and load that number of label sheets into your printer. Once the labels are loaded, click the printer icon in the toolbar, and that will display the print dialog box. Normally you don't need to make any changes on this before sending it to the printer, but for the labels you want to see if your print dialog box includes an option for page scaling, and if it does, you'll change that to say none, and that will make sure that the labels are printed in the correct position. Once everything is correct on this screen, you'll click the OK button to send this to the printer. I'm going to click Cancel because we're in the tutorial, and as we wrap up, I want to show you one more feature. The labels are initially laid out to start with Label 1 in the top left corner of a full sheet of labels. If you happen to have a partial sheet of labels where some have been used on the sheet at the top, this system allows you to use that page by changing which label should be printed first. You'll do that using the Action panel and select a different number for the Start label. The labels are numbered going from left to right. So this is Label 1, this is Label 2 position, Label 3, etc. So if you have a partial sheet of labels where the first 4 labels have already been used, we'll say that we're going to start on label number 5. Once I make that selection, the preview is redrawn to reflect that change, and showing that the first label you selected will print in the 5th position. And now that you have it selected that way, you would return to the printer icon. That concludes this tutorial. Thanks for choosing iForgeAhead.